everyone, so welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well and fine. In the last video, we covered the topics which were the functions in Python and the modules in Python. So I hope you are understanding the concepts, and if you have any doubt, you can drop out the comments. In this video, we will be starting with a new topic, which is the exception handling and the file handling. So let's get started with the video. So starting with our today's topic, exception handling, the first topic is the errors versus exceptions. So what is an error in the first place? So whenever you will be writing your code and it suddenly stops execution, it start to freeze, suddenly freezes, and there is no apparent reason. This is mainly because of an error, like your error can be a syntax error or a logical error or sometimes a runtime error. What is a syntax error? When you write your code and there's some problem with your syntax, like you wrote something in capital and the small like keywords used as an identifier, these kind of errors are known as the syntax errors. Second, we have the logical errors, and the logical errors are the one which are most difficult to find. Why? Because in case of logical errors, your code will not stop the execution. It will perform your function. It will perform all the operations, but the output you want, it's not the one you wanted. It's the unexpected outputs. So in that case, you will have to find the logic where you have gone wrong with your logic. Then we have the runtime error, which are not generated by you. It's the system generated errors. Like you want to get the zero division, you want to divide any value by zero, and see, in this example we are performing zero division, and that's an exception. That means if you perform division by zero, it will give you an error, you all know. But if someone want to check that what will be the output, so yeah, they have this correct logic, they want to know the division by zero, it will give you infinity or not defined something. But in the case of the system, it will by default it will generate you an error. So this error is a system generated error. So these are known as the runtime errors. So there is the exceptions, like there are so many exceptions, like one is the zero division exception. And to overcome all these errors, we have this exception handling concept in our Python. So in our exception handling, there are two blocks mainly. First is this try block, and then the except block. So what does these blocks do? Whenever you write your code, the one which you think that might have some sort of error, those will be written under the try block. Like in here, we have written print 10 divided by num. So we don't know the value of num, but the error would occur. It would occur in this try block. And in case there would be some sort of error, we have the another except block. And like when you get some sort of error in your code, there will be a long lengthy message, like a traceback we call that. So if you don't want to get that message, you want to overcome that, you can use this except block. So whatever the error will be there in your code, it will not be like you won't be getting those big messages like the error messages, and instead you will get this output, something went wrong. So here we got that something went wrong. If you will perform this operation without using the try except block, it will give you a runtime error. So we will see the execution one by one, and I will make you familiar with some specific types of exceptions we have in Python. So let's get started with our implementation part. So first of all, we will see the syntax error in our code. Like I will write print in capital, and I will write hello world, and I will execute this code and see, I have got this trace back, and here name print is not defined. See, name error, it is a type of an error, and there are so many other types, so we will discuss one by one. And if you will write this print like correctly, and if you don't write the double quotes, it will again give you a syntax error. And see here, invalid syntax. Sorry, that one was the name error. Syntax error is this. We didn't write the double quotes or the single quotes, which is a must whenever you will be printing the strings in Python. And we also have the logical errors, like if you want to print the average of two numbers, like I want to print the average of 4 and 6, and I will write 4 plus 6 divided by 2, and I will print this. And see, I got a value that is 7, but of course that's not an average value. Why? Because if we want to find the average, you will have to write the parenthesis again, and then if you will print this, it will give you the average. And see, the output you wanted was this, but you got this one, so it's an unwanted output, which means there's a error in your logic. The code is correct, the code is performing something, but the one you want, it's not that one, it's not the code you want to print. So this was the logical error. Then we have the runtime errors, like the division by 0, like I will print 10 divided by 0, and of course the logic is correct, the syntax is correct, but it will not give you any output, it will give you the error, and this error is the system generated error. So this is known as the runtime error. So this was just your practical implementation. Now we will see some other type of errors, and we will see how we can handle these sort of errors in our Python programming. So here we have some errors which we commonly encounter in Python. So first of all is the name error, like when you try to assess any variable or an identifier which is not defined in that particular scope, like yesterday we studied the function, in the functions, the global scope variables and the local scope variables. So some variables are like local scope, and if you try to assess them outside the function, they will give you the name error. It will show you that name is not defined. Sometimes when you try to perform some operations, like we did earlier with the print one, and here print was not defined, so it was a name error. So whenever you will be writing an identifier and it is not defined in your scope or anywhere in global scope or the local scope, it will give you the name error. Then we have the type error. When you try to perform some operation, like when you try to perform like adding two variables, like adding a string to an integer, so it is not compatible, so it is what a type error, because the data type on which you're performing the operation, it is invalid, it's not correct. It will give you an error, which is the type error. Then we have the value error, like you have given the type correctly, like your input, it should be an integer, and you have given the integer, but you unfortunately or by mistake you have written some special symbols with it or something else. It will give you a value error. That means your type is correct, but the value you have inserted, it is wrong, that you cannot perform the operation on that value. Then next we have the zero division, like we have seen already. Whenever you try to divide any integer with a 0, it will give you an error that you cannot divide a value by 0, so it's a zero division error. Then we have a key error, like in the Python dictionaries, you know, there is the mapping of keys and values. So whenever you try to assess a value with a key which is not present in a dictionary, it will give you a key error. Then we have the indentation error, like we know that if you don't use the proper indentation in your Python codes, like after writing the colon, you always need to give an indentation, so it defines that particular line, the code of that particular code, it belongs to a particular block. Like in the if block, you need to write the you need to use the indentation. In the for loop or the while loop, you will have to use the indentation to specify whether the code, whatever the code you are writing, it is under that block. So indentation error, if you don't use the proper indentation, it will give you the indentation error. Then next we have the input output error. Like the next topic we will be covering is the file handling. And if you in that file handling, if you try to import a file which is not present in your system, it is not present in any directory of your system, it will give you the input output error. And next we have the index error. Like when you try to access an element in your strings or the list, if the element is not present in the list, like the index you will give, and it is not present in your sequence, it will give you the index error, that index is out of range. Last we have the import error. Like yesterday we covered a topic which was the Python modules, and whenever you try to import a module in your current file, and when and that file, the module which you are importing, it is not present in your system, it will give you what? An import error. So we will see all these errors like one by one, and I will show you how you can handle these errors. So starting with our programming part. So starting with our first error, that's the name error. We will take two user input to perform the addition of two values, num1 and num2. And now we will print num1 plus, instead of writing the num2, I will write num3, and we will see it will give you an error. And see, num3, this name is not defined. It's not defined even in your local space or in the global space. It's not defined anywhere. So it is a name error. And if you want to overcome this error, you can use the try except method. Like you will write your code in the try block, and here you will need to use the indentation to specify that this particular block, it's coming under the it is coming under your exception and try block. And then we have the except block. And if you don't specify what kind of error you are using the except block, it will perform the working for all that type of exceptions. Now I will specify the error is the name error, and now we will print use the correct identifier. And now we will execute this code 34 10, and see, here it is giving me use the correct identifier. So this is how you can overcome your name error. And same way, if you have any kind of error like the type errors we have, again we will write the try block, and we will try to perform the operations. Like I will do it in this one only, try, and hello plus num2. And now we have the correct syntax for the correct variable names we have written. And if we will you can directly just see that it will give you an error. And again, indentation is necessary only whenever you are writing the code after the colons. Not without that, it will again give you an error. And see, 67 90. And here we have the type error. What the type error is, strings can only concatenate with the other string, not on the integer values. You cannot perform the concatenation on the string and an integer value. So this is a type error. And now to handle this, we will perform our exception handling. Accept, try, type error, use the correct data type, and we'll execute this code. Is 6, 10, and see. We have avoided our long and lengthy that traceback message, and instead we have just got the warning, which is use the correct data type. Then next we have the value error. I will just write it with this one code only, one line. And most of the cases you don't know like what kind of error you will be getting. So in that case you can just use the except block. Print use the correct value. I will write asterisk 18 and see. Here we got use the correct value. If you want to see the error as well, I will comment this out. This as well. And now we will execute this again. Again I will give the same input and see. Here we got the invalid literal for integer with base 10 by, because in decimal values we have the base till 0 to 9. So all the values between 0 to 9 it is considered as the decimal, but we have given what a special symbol and asterisk is in our input, so which is an invalid literal for an integer. So it is a invalid value to be provided to an integer input, so it is giving you a value error. Then next we have seen that zero division error. I don't think we need to try to perform this again. So we will move forward towards our key error. Like when you try to access a key which is not present in your dictionary, it will give you a key error. We will create our dictionary. One. Hello. 2. Hi. And now we try to get a value of a key, let it be 3, and let's not specify any sort of error, just perform our except block and see. Here we have got use the correct value, and if we specify some sort of error like the value error, and that error is not present in your code and some other sort of error is present, it will again give you an error. Why? Because the error we got in our code, it is the key error, it is not the value error. So if you specify the error and it's not present and some other error is present, it will give you that long traceback message. So instead of writing all the errors one by one, you can directly just write the except block and without specifying any sort of error. And if there are chances that there can be several errors present in your code, you can write it like you can write the errors like the one these will be present in your code. The chances are high those errors will be present. You can write the except plus the name of the error and the execution, the next output solution code, and 2-3 errors you can write like this. And in the end, if you're not sure, like if some other sort of error can be present, you can write another except block and just write except, and after that you can write your the handling line, the one which will be handling your error. Like in this one we have the key error, and let it be another name error as well. true, and we want to we want to handle both of these, we can write two except blocks, and second one we will write the name error and print use the correct identifier. And then we will perform one more error, the type error only. Let it be a list 3, 4. And now you know your Python's keys, these are the immutable data types, and whereas the list are the mutable data types. That means the data type of the key and the list are different, so you cannot use the keys in place of your you cannot use list in place of your keys, so it will again give you a error. Voila. We will perform the type error as well. Print use correct data type. And again we will take some input to see the value error as well. L int input enter value, and we will not specify any error now. We will just write our except block and print an error has occurred. Now we will perform this code and see. It is given, it didn't give us any sort of error. Instead it has just given us one single line of output, which is the use correct data type, the last one. Why? Because first it got the key error, and then it got the name error, and again it got the type error. So in the end one it has printed. So I hope this is clear to you. Then next we have the except and the else block. Like if your code is correct in the try block, your code is correct, and there is in this block, if your whole code is correct, everything is correct, and then you want to perform some operation on the code, you can just use the else block. Like in our code there is the problem in this first line, that is the type error, so it has given me the type error. See, in Python there is the interpreted execution, so it will check your code line by line. So in your first line there was the error of the type error, so it has given us the type error only. In the next block, in the next line, if there is some other error, again we will perform and see. Now we have got the use the correct value, so the key error we got, and we have got this key errors output use the correct value. If we again delete this line as well, we will get some other error, use the correct identifier. Here in this dict 2 we didn't write the correct identifier, so we got this error as well. Then in the end I will delete this one as well, and now we will again execute this code, and I will give the invalid value again, and see, an error has occurred because we didn't specify any type of error, and so it directly jumped to our this statement. And now in our code everything is correct, and we can just perform our further operation. So we can use the else block, else print hello. So we will execute this block, execute this code, and we will give the valid value now, and see, our else block is executed. But what if there will be some sort of error, like in this one I will write the invalid value. and you will see your else block will not be executing. Why? Because there is the error. So whenever there will be some sort of error, your else block will not be executing. The except block will be performing the operations. And then lastly, we also have except, else, and last a finally block. See, in this finally block, if there is any sort of error in your code, the error in the above syntax, and maybe your except block is not your except block may not be handling that error, still your finally block will always be executing. Like your else block, if all of these blocks are together and try block is having some error, your exceptions will be handling or not handling, or there is no error in try block, else block is working. Every time at the end, if you are using the finally block, the finally block will perform its execution. Whatever the code you have written in there, it will always be executing. Like let it be done. And see, we will give invalid value 12, but we have got the error. It has your exception handling block. It has it has given solution to that error, but in the end done, the finally block is executed. If you are writing the correct value as well, 23, your else block will be performing the execution, and in the end the finally block will again perform the execution. And if we don't give the accept here, we'll comment this, and now we will see and see again in our code we got the value error. We didn't specify any exception block for the same, and there is the error in our code. In the end we got the error, but again in the last we have written the finally block. We got the error in our try block. We didn't get any solution to that error, but still in the end the finally block was there. Again it will perform the execution. See, here we got the done as our output. So whatever you will be writing in your try block, in your accept block, if it's handling the error, if it's not handling the error, the try block is all correct, your else operation is performing, your accept block working, not working, in the end if you have written the finally block, it will perform its execution at anyhow. So whenever you will be getting the finally block, just remember, in any case it will perform its execution. So this was your some basic errors. Then you have the indentation error, like we have seen in the earlier videos as well. If you have any sort of indentation error, you can you can just again give the indentation error out, like the handling to the indentation error as well. Indentation error, and here we will write if block, if let it be 23 greater than 90, and we will print hey, and now we will perform our execution for the indentation errors. Like here we have given wait, there is some sort of error in our code. Okay, so in Python exception handling, if there is some sort of indentation error, like it will not be handled by using the try except block, because Python will be performing the interpreted execution. So if it will not get the indented block right here only, it will not perform any further. It will directly will just give you an error. So whenever you are using the try except block, make sure you don't use it for the indentation error, because indentation error is not handled by the try except block. So remember this thing, that there is one more exception in the in our exception handling, that indentation error is not handled by the try except block. The next we have the input output error, like we will see that in the end. First we will see the other one, the index error. Like in our list we will create one list, list 1 equals to 10 20 29, okay, and here we will give one more except block, except index error, and we will print index out of range. And in this one we will print list 1 and the fourth element. And here we don't have any error in our code till now. It is only on this line. So we will see the execution. 34 and see. Okay, so now here in this one we have written our index which is not available in our list, so it will give you the error which is index out of range. So I hope this is clear to you. Then next we have the import error. Like if you will try to import any file which is not present, like we have the calc file in here, it is present in our system, but if you try to write any file which is not present in our system, like import hello, so we have written this import error, and we will give the exception to that import error as well, except import error print file not present. We will comment these other out. All these as well, and we will perform the execution. Okay, we have the error here. We will comment this out as well. And now see, here we got file not present, and instead of getting that long lengthy traceback, we just got file not present by using our except block. So I hope all these errors are clear to you, and one exception, that is the indentation error, which cannot be handled by using the exception handling. So the last we had the input output error, so I will show you that as well. And for that we will have to create another file, and from here we will create one new file, and it is just a text file. Wait, hello.txt. So it is just a text file, and we will open this file here, F equals to open hello dot txt. Right. Not that we will just now we don't have any error. Why? Because that file is now present in our system, and if that file is not present, like first we will execute we will print f, and we'll execute this code and see. Here we got the name of the file, the mode, the encoding and all. When you don't specify any mode, like here we have written the R at the first place. If you don't specify R, it will by default be opened in the reading mode. And if you open a file, let it be hey.txt, and now if you will print f, and I'll comment these two out. Now if you will print this f, it will give you the error which is file not found. It is the same as the input output error, and to overcome this, accept file not found error. Okay, you will have to write this block in that code in the try block, and now print file not present, and now we will perform the same execution and see, we got file not present. So this was all about your exception handling. I hope this topic is clear to you, and sorry for the errors from my side. You can rewatch the video in case of any error, and that much for this video.